The remote slipped from Grayson's fingers, clattering against the hardwood floor like a gunshot in the silence of his Brooklyn walk-up. There, under the garish studio lights of Heartstrings Live, was Alex leaning in to kiss a wide-eyed contestant named Emily. The audience erupting in applause as if this was the fairy tale they'd all been waiting for. In that frozen second, Grayson's world cracked open, spilling out 2 years of whispered promises and stolen weekends, all reduced to a scripted live broadcast to millions. Grayson had always known love could hurt. But this was a blade twisting slow, carving out the trust he'd built brick by fragile brick. He was 28, a graphic designer scraping by in the shadow of Manhattan skyscrapers. The kind of guy who doodled hearts in the margins of his sketches even after every bad date. Alex had been his anchor 30. Charming, with that easy laugh that made dive bars feel like home. They'd met at a queer poetry slam in the Village. 2 lost souls trading verses about hidden desires under rainbow flags. "You're my safe harbor," Alex had murmured one rainy night, their fingers laced as thunder rolled over the East River. Grayson believed him, every word, until the TV screen turned it all to ash. That night blurred into a haze of cheap whiskey and unanswered texts. Grayson's phone buzzed once. "Miss you tonight" from Alex, timestamped just hours before the taping. He hurled it across the room, the crack of the screen mirroring the fracture in his chest. How long had this been going on? The show, Heartstrings Live, was the hottest thing on cable, straight singles chasing heteronormative bliss. All confetti and champagne toasts. Alex, with his broad shoulders and boy-next-door grin, fit right in, charming the host like he'd been born for the spotlight. But Grayson knew the truth: the late-night confessions about family pressures, the internalized shame from a conservative upbringing in Ohio. "I'm done hiding," Alex had said just months ago, sealing it with a kiss that tasted like forever. Liar. By dawn, Grayson was pacing his one-bedroom, the city waking to honks and sirens below. He replayed the episode on his laptop, pausing on Alex's smile, that same one that had lit up their first pride parade together. The betrayal burned hotter than anger. It was grief, pure and choking, for the man he'd loved and the future they'd sketched in lazy Sunday mornings. He thought of calling his sister, Mia, back in Seattle, always the voice of reason, but what would he say? "Your brother's a fraud, and I'm the fool who fell for it." No, this wasn't just personal. It was a slap to every queer kid watching, dreaming of authenticity in a world that still demanded performances. Work that week was a fog. Grayson stared at his monitor, tweaking logos for a tech startup that preached disruptive innovation, while he disrupted nothing but his own sleep. His boss, a no-nonsense woman named Carla, noticed the dark circles. "Rough patch?" she asked over coffee, her voice laced with the empathy of someone who'd clawed her way up from Queens. Grayson shrugged, mumbling about a deadline. But inside, a storm brewed. He binge-watched old episodes of Heartstrings, dissecting Alex's segments like a crime scene. There he was, Episode 3, gushing about traditional values to a panel of smirking judges. Episode 7, slow dancing with a brunette while Grayson had been home alone, baking the apple pie recipe Alex swore was his favorite. It gnawed at him, the duality. Alex wasn't just cheating. He was erasing them, performing straightness for ratings and redemption from a family that had disowned him at 18 for a high school kiss with his best friend. Grayson remembered the stories: the Bible-thumping father, the mother who sent passive-aggressive Christmas cards. "I want to go back someday. Prove I'm not broken," Alex had confessed once, vulnerability cracking his facade. Grayson had held him then, whispering, "You're perfect as you are." Now, it felt like poison. One evening, scrolling casting calls on a women-y thing to numb the ache, Grayson stumbled on the open auditions for Heartstrings Season 2. The application was simple: headshot, bio, A video pitch on why you deserve true love. His laugh was bitter, echoing off the walls. What if he applied? Not to find love, but to shatter the illusion. To stand on that stage, under those lights, and force Alex's hand. The idea ignited something fiercely, a mix of vengeance and justice, laced with the desperate hope that exposure might heal them both. He filmed the tape in his bathroom mirror, shirt unbuttoned just enough to show the tattoo on his collarbone, a small rainbow infinity loop, inked on their anniversary. "I'm Grayson Hale," he said to the camera, voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. 28. From Brooklyn, New York. I've spent my life chasing authenticity in a world full of scripts. I'm here because real love doesn't hide, it shines. He hit send before doubt could claw it back, heart pounding like a war drum. Weeks passed in agonizing limbo. Grayson threw himself into therapy sessions with Dr. Lena, a soft-spoken woman who'd seen every flavor of heartbreak. "What do you hope to gain from this?" she asked, her notebook balanced on her knee. Grayson leaned forward, elbows on thighs. "Closure. For me. For every guy like us who thought we were building something real." She nodded, but her eyes held caution, the kind that said roads to revenge rarely led home. The acceptance email arrived on a crisp October morning, as leaves swirled like confetti outside his window. "Congratulations, Grayson. You're one of 15 suitors for Season 2. His breath caught, a whirlwind of terror and triumph. Filming started in 3 weeks, in a sun-drenched LA studio that promised glamour but delivered isolation. He'd have to quit his job temporarily, lie to friends, steel himself for the cameras that stripped souls bare. But as he packed his duffel jeans, that worn leather jacket from their first date, Grayson felt the first flicker of power. This wasn't just about Alex anymore. It was his story, reclaimed. The flight to LAX was turbulent, mirroring the chaos in his gut. Grayson clutched the armrest, staring at the clouds as if they held answers. What if Alex saw him apply? What if he didn't show? The questions looped like a bad reel, but beneath them hummed a deeper truth. Grayson had spent too long dimming his light for others. This show, this madness, it was his chance to burn bright. Consequences be damned. Touching down in the sprawl of Los Angeles, Grayson stepped into the rental car, the radio blasting some pop anthem about unbreakable hearts. He cranked it up, windows down, letting the Pacific breeze whip away the last of his hesitation. The studio loomed ahead, a glass monolith buzzing with crew and excitement. Check-in was a blur, NDAs signed. Wardrobe fittings where stylists cooed over his relatable everyman vibe. He was assigned a suite with ocean views. But solitude hit hard that first night, the waves crashing like accusations. Orientation the next day introduced the cast, 14 strangers, all straight identifying, buzzing with nerves and flirtations. There was Jordan, the surfer dude from San Diego, all golden tan and easy grins. Lila, a fiery teacher from Chicago with curls that defied gravity. And Marcus, the quiet engineer whose laugh hid layers of loneliness. Grayson scanned for Alex, but he wasn't there, rumor had it. Select alumni returned for expert segments. His stomach twisted. The game was on, but the board felt rigged. Filming kicked off with the host, a polished veteran named Trent, all teeth and time charisma. "Welcome to Heartstrings Live, where hearts collide and sparks fly." The audience lived and raucous cheered as spotlights swept the stage. Grayson sat in the suitors' row, palms slick, forcing smiles for the cameras that zoomed like predators. The first challenge, speed dates. 5 minutes each. To unlock your perfect match. He drew Emily, first the same Emily from Alex's season. Now a returning success story. Her eyes lit with recognition. No, just polite curiosity. "Brooklyn. Huh. I'm from Jersey originally. What's your story? Grayson. He leaned in, voice low and laced with the city's grit. Chasing dreams in a concrete jungle. You know, the kind where love sneaks up on you when you're not looking. She laughed. Genuine. And for a moment, Grayson forgot the script. But then Trent announced the guest expert, joining us tonight. Last season's fan favorite Alex Rivera. The crowd roared as Alex strode out, microphone in hand, that signature smile plastered on. Grayson's blood turned to ice. Up close, Alex looked polished tailored blazer. Hair gelled just sobbed, his eyes darted, landing on Grayson for a split second that stretched eternal. Recognition flashed. Then panic, buried under layers of performance. Alex, tell us what makes a connection real. Trent prompted. Alex cleared his throat, gaze fixed on the teleprompter. It's vulnerability. Trent, letting someone see the real you, flaws and all. The irony hit Grayson like a freight train. Laughter bubbling up unbidden. Heads turned. He played it off as a cough. But inside, the hook sank deeper. This wasn't exposure yet. It was a duel in the dark, each move a step toward the inevitable clash. As the night wore on, challenges blurred into a frenzy, group games where suitors vied for roses, symbolic of budding romance. Grayson excelled, his quick wit and quiet intensity drawing laughs and lingering glances. Lila pulled him aside during a break. You're different, she said, sipping water from a branded bottle. Not chasing the spotlight, Erie, just. There. He nodded, throat tight. If only she knew the shadow he carried. That evening, back in his suite, Grayson scrolled his phone, muted notifications from home. A lifeline to sanity. Mia had texted, proud of you. Whatever this adventure is. Call soon. He almost did, spilling it all, but held back. This was his burden, his blaze. Instead, he pulled up old photos, him and Alex at Coney Island. Cotton candy smeared on cheeks. A quiet hike in the Catskills. Hands brushing trailside. Tears pricked. Hot and unwelcome. Why? He whispered to the empty room. The ocean's roar, his only reply. Week 2 ramped up the stakes. Producers paired contestants for dream dates, yacht outings, rooftop dinners under stars. Grayson landed a sunset sail with Jordan. The surfer's easy vibe a balm against the tension. As dolphins arced beside the boat, Jordan cracked open beers. Man, this show's intense. You holding up? Grayson stared at the horizon. Sun bleeding orange into sea. Some days. Yeah. Others. It's like swimming with weights. Jordan clapped his shoulder. Whatever's weighing you, shake it. Life's too short for anchors. The words lingered. A quiet epiphany amid the glamour. Grayson wasn't here just for revenge. He was unmooring himself, learning to float free. But Alex haunted the edges, popping in for advice segments. His counsel laced with double meanings only Grayson caught. Trust your gut, Alex said on camera, eyes flicking his way. Grayson met the gaze. Unflinching. A silent promise, I will. And it'll gut you. Mid-season. The twist dropped, a blast from the past episode, where alumni crash dates to test compatibility. Grayson's pulse thundered as names were drawn. Lila's turn came first, her ex from season 1. Awkward but sweet. Then Jordan's. A laugh riot. Finally, Grayson Hale. Your surprise guest is Alex Rivera. The studio hushed, then exploded in whispers. Grayson stood, legs leaden, as Alex approached the candlelit table on the beach set, waves lapping mockingly. Up close, the facade cracked. Alex's hand trembled on the wine glass. Grayson, he breathed, voice for them alone. What the hell are you doing here? Grayson's smile was steel. Same as you. Alex. Chasing truth. The date unfolded in stilted dance, small talk for the mics. Barbs beneath. Remember our first trip? That cabin in the Poconos. Grayson murmured. Fork midway to mouth. Alex paled. Grayson. Please, this isn't. But the cameras rolled, capturing every flinch, every forced laugh. Offset. In the shadowed lot. Alex cornered him. You applied to spite me. After everything. Grayson's fists clenched. Everything. You mean the lies. The show where you played house while I waited. Alex's eyes glistened. The boy from Ohio peeking through. My family watched last season. They called first time in years. I thought I could bridge it. Grayson laughed. Hollow. By erasing us. I'm done being your secret. Alex. The confrontation hung. Unresolved. As filming pressed on. Grayson withdrew. Channeling hurt into authenticity, sharing stories of his queer upbringing in a liberal but flawed family. His art born from isolation. Contestants rallied. Lila became a confidant. Her own scars from a coming out, gone wrong forging bond. You're brave, she said one night, stargazing on the villa roof. Not many would face fire like this. But fire consumes. Grayson lost sleep. Wait. The mirror reflecting a man honed sharp by pain. Therapy calls with Dr. Lena turned frantic. Am I the villain here? She paused. Measured. No. Grayson. You're human seeking justice in a world that denies it. But ask, does exposure heal? Or scar? Doubt crept, softening vengeance's edge. Watching Alex advise others genuine in flashes, Grayson glimpsed the man he'd loved. Trapped in cycles of approval. A late-night producer whisper confirmed it. Alex's contract hinged on straight appeal. Pity stirred. Unwelcome. Mingling with rage. The finale loomed. A gauntlet of eliminations. Grayson survived by grit. His vulnerability resonating, producers dubbed him the heartfelt underdog. In rose ceremonies, petals fell like judgments. He clutched his emblem of endurance. Alex, ever present, avoided his eyes now, the weight of unspoken words crushing. One eve before the end, Grayson wandered the studio beach. Toes in sand. Moon silvering waves. Footsteps crunched Alex. Silhouette hesitant. Can't sleep. Grayson didn't turn. Ghosts keep better company. Silence stretched. Then Alex sat. Distance between like chasm. I never meant to hurt you. Last season. It was survival. My agent pitched it as a reboot. I thought I could compartmentalize. Grayson world. Compartmentalize us. Like a drawer you slam shut. Tears tracked Alex's face. Moonlight carving shadows. I was scared. Still am. Dad's cancer stage 4. They reached out after the show. Said they were proud. First time. But seeing you here. It's killing me. The confession landed soft. Disarming. Grayson sank beside him. Walls crumbling. You could have told me. We could have faced it together. They talked till dawn raw. Unfiltered. The ocean witness to fractures mending tentative. No cameras. Just two men. American dreamers in a flawed tapestry. Unraveling threads of shame. I love you. Alex whispered. Hand hovering. Grayson pulled back. Gentle. Prove it. Not to femto us. Finale night pulsed electric. The stage glittered. Confetti cannons primed. Trent's voice booming. Tonight. Connections culminate. Suitors paired off Jordan with a beach beauty. Lila with her teacher match. Grayson stood alone. Rose in hand. Heart a drum. Then. The twist. Open mic for truths untold. He stepped forward. Mic heavy as fate. The crowd hushed. I'm Grayson Hale. And I'm gay. Gasps rippled. Cameras zoomed. I came here not for a rose, but for honesty. Last season, a man I loved stood where you are now, hiding who he is for applause. Alex, he turned, eyes locking. We've both worn masks. But love, it thrives in light. Chaos erupted, Trent stammered. Producers signaled cut. But Grayson pressed on. This show's about hearts. Right. Mine's queer. Beating loud. And it's time we all see it. Alex rose. Face ashen. Then resolute. He crossed the stage. Mike snatched. He's right. I'm bi. And I hurt the best person I know to chase ghosts. The audience split boos. Cheers. A spectrum of shock. Backstage pandemonium, execs yelling. Crew scrambling. But in the green room, Grayson and Alex collapsed against walls. Breaths sinking. What now? Alex asked. Voice small. Grayson smiled. Weary but whole. Now, we write our own season. Months later, back in Brooklyn, Grayson sketched a new logo for a queer youth nonprofit, funded by his heartstrings settlement. Alex joined therapy, mending family ties on his terms. Their reconnection slow, a bridge rebuilt plank by plank. Mia visited, hugging tight. You didn't just expose him, you exposed yourself. Bravest thing. Grayson nodded, gazing at the skyline. Betrayal scar faded, replaced by grace, the human art of forgiveness. Not for perfection, but possibility. In America's vast, varied heart, he'd found his, unapologetic, enduring. The fallout from that finale night rippled like aftershocks through Grayson's life, each tremor reshaping the fault lines of who he'd been. Social media exploded overnight, Grayson truth trending. Clips of his speech dissected in viral threads, from TikTok dances to op-ed rants. Pundits called it the queer reckoning of reality TV, while trolls spewed venom in comment sections that Mia had to moderate from afar. Ignore the noise, she texted, attaching a meme of a phoenix rising from a pile of wilted roses. Grayson tried, burying himself in freelance gigs. But the world's gaze lingered, a spotlight he couldn't dim. Alex vanished into radio silence for weeks, his phone a void after the chaos. Grayson didn't chase. Instead, he walked the Brooklyn Bridge at dawn, fog cloaking the towers like a veil, letting the rhythm of his steps untangle the knot in his chest. Dr. Lena's sessions became anchors. You've ignited a fire. Grayson, now, tend it without burning out. She was right, the exposure hadn't just toppled Alex. It had cracked open Grayson, spilling vulnerabilities he'd long sealed. He journaled furiously, pages filling with raw confessions, the boyhood crushes on baseball stars, the college closet that choked his art, the quiet terror of loving aloud. Spring thawed into summer, New York's heat wave mirroring the slow simmer of change. Grayson volunteered at the nonprofit Rainbow Bridges, mentoring teens who DM'd post-finale. How do you come out when family's the storm? His stories polished by pain landed soft, sparking flickers in their eyes. One kid, Jamal, 16 and wide-shouldered with dreams of Broadway, gripped his arm after a workshop. You make it feel possible. Man, like I don't gotta choose between me and them. Grayson swallowed hard, echoing his younger self. You don't. The world's big enough for both. Then, a knock shattered the routine. July 4th. Fireworks blooming distant over the harbor. Alex stood on his stoop thinner, eyes hollowed by shadows. A duffel at his feet. Can we talk? Grayson stepped aside. The doors creak louder than words. They sat on the fire escape. City symphony below, laughter from barbecues, bass thumping from cars. Alex unfolded first. Voice gravel. Therapy's kicking my ass. Dad's treatments. He watched the finale. Called me broken again. Pause. Swallow. But Mom. She wrote. Said she sees me now. Grayson's guard slipped. A fraction. And you? Do you see yourself? Alex met his gaze. Unflinching. Trying. For the first time. Really. They didn't kiss. Didn't rush. It was talk honest. Halting about the show's NDAs lifting. The queer media offers trickling in. Alex had turned down a straight savior docuseries, opting for a podcast on bi erasure. Your mic drop. It gave me permission. Rebuilding threaded cautious. Coffee turned to walks in Prospect Park. Leaves unfurling like tentative trust. Grayson shared Sketchiza graphic novel outline. Masked hearts. Chronicling their saga sans names. Alex read drafts over takeout. His feedback sharp. Make the hurt breathe. Like you did on stage. Laughter crept back. Small but real. In shared silences watching herons skim the lake. Yet shadows lingered. A tabloid splash, ex-lovers LGBTQ twist, revenge or romance. Sent Grayson spiraling. Old doubts clawing. He confronted Alex over falafel. Voice edged. Is this pity? Fixing what you broke? Alex recoiled. Then leaned in. No. It's owning it. I choose you every day. Masks off. The words landed. A bomb. But Grayson tested them, boundaries drawn. Therapy joint. No rushing the physical. It was intimacy rebuilt from blueprints. Each layer deliberate. Fall brought Harvest Grayson's novel pitched to a small press. Alex's podcast launching to acclaim. They attended a queer-lit festival together. Hands brushing in crowds. The air electric with unspoken we. But growth's price surfaced in fractures. Alex's family visit to Ohio. Grayson tagging along for support. The farmhouse loomed. White clapboard scarred by storms. Dad's wheelchair on the porch a sentinel. Dinner was minefield forks clinking tension. Mom's eyes darting between sons. We saw the show. She ventured. Pie cooling untouched. Alex tensed. Grayson squeezed his knee under table. Tell us about it. Dad rasped. Voice tobacco rough. Alex did halting at first. Then steady, the hiding. The hurt. The healing. Grayson added threads. His Brooklyn grit lightening the load. Silence fell. Heavy. Then Mom reached. I'm sorry. Son. For the years we lost. Tears traced Dad's cheeks. Unspoken apology in the nod. Driving back. Stars wheeling overhead. Alex broke. You were my courage tonight. Grayson smiled into dark. We were. Winter deepened bonds. Snow blanketing the city in hush. Grayson's book deal solidified. Release slated for Pride. Alex moved in tentative. Boxes half on Paquita merging of lives. Spaces. Mornings blurred, coffee shared. Sketches over shoulders. The infinity tattoo tracing lazy circles. But vulnerability bred storms. A nightmare woke Alex, thrashing visions of rejection. Stages crumbling. Grayson held him. Whispers fierce. You're here. With me. Safe. The launch party pulsed vibrant rainbow banners. Queer icons toasting under lofts. Grayson read an excerpt. Voice carrying the stage's echo, the hook of betrayal. The arc of grace. Alex in front row. Eyes shining pride. Afterward. An alley hush. He pulled Grayson close. You exposed more than Mayo freed us. Lips met then. Soft. Certain a seal on journeys intertwined. Yet life's script twisted anew. Spring brought news, heartstrings rebooting. Inclusive twist. Producers circling Alex for host. Temptation loomed fame's siren. Old validations. Grayson watched him wrestle. Nights pacing. Don't go back. He urged. Not demand but plea. Alex paced too, then decided, no, our story's off script now. Summer solstice. They road-tripped the coast Big Sur cliffs. Pacific roar-chasing sunsets as therapy. Jamal joined a leg. Broadway-bound now. His energy youth's promise. Around campfires. Tales wove, pains past. Hopes aflame. Grayson sketched them. Lines capturing firelight flickers. Back home. Maturity bloomed. Grayson mentored full-time at Rainbow Bridges, expanding to bi-inclusive workshops. Alex's podcast hit millions. Voices amplified teens calling in. Stories mirroring theirs. Family mended slow, dad's letters. Mom's visits. Bridges spanning chasms. Anniversary fell on a mild eve. 2 years post-finale. They climbed the bridge again. City aglow. From hook to horizon. Grayson murmured. Rings slipping ensemble band. Engraved unmasked. Alex's yes trembled joy. Not end. But chapter, love's evolution. Ever unfolding. In America's mosaic. They'd carved space flawed. Fierce. Familial. Grayson. Once shattered. Now whole. Witness to redemption's quiet power. Grayson's days settled into a rhythm that felt almost ordinary. If ordinary could encompass the quiet revolution humming beneath Brooklyn's brownstones. Mornings began with the hiss of his espresso machine. Alex shuffling and shirtless. Hair tousled from sleep. Planting a kiss on his neck before raiding the fridge for yogurt. It was domesticity reclaimed. Each small act of defiance against the chaos that had nearly unmade them. But Grayson knew better than to trust the calm. Peace, he'd learned, was a garden demanding constant weeding. The nonprofit swelled. Rainbow Bridges outgrowing its cramped office into a sunlit space in Williamsburg. Grayson helmed workshops now. Themes evolving, from closet to canvas. Where queer artists sketched identities unapologetic. One session. A non-binary teen named Riley 17. With neon-streaked hair and sketches of fractured mirrors unveiled a piece that stopped breaths, 2 figures entwined. One masked. The other reaching. That's you and your ex. Right. From the show. A participant whispered. Riley nodded. Eyes fierce. Yeah. But it's not tragedy, it's transformation. Grayson swallowed pride. Tears pricking. His story. Rippling outward. Birthing art from ashes. Alex's podcast, Unscripted Hearts, became a beacon episodes dissecting by invisibility. Guest spots from allies and adversaries alike. He interviewed Trent from Heartstrings. The exchange a masterclass in accountability. I profited from the facade. Trent admitted. Voice cracking over Zoom. Listeners surged. Donations poured. But fame's underbelly nipped stalkers at readings. DMs laced with hate. Alex leaned on Grayson. Nights curled on the couch. Head in lap. Some days. I missed the simplicity of hiding. Grayson stroked his hair. Steady. Hiding's a cage. Love. This. It's flight. Family threads wove tighter. Mia flew east quarterly. Her Seattle pragmatism a grounding force barbecues on the roof. Jamal tagging along for aunt-niece vibes that weren't. Dad's health stabilized. Remission a fragile gift. Holiday cards arrived handwritten. Postscripts from mom, proud of our boy. Alex's responses lengthened. Vulnerability vented in letters Grayson proofed. Their collaboration a quiet intimacy. But growth's shadow loomed in unexpected forms. Fall brought a documentary, offer HBO, sniffing heartstring scandal. Producers pitching the real story behind the mic drop. Meetings in sleek midtown offices. Execs in suits cooing vision, raw. Redemptive Oscar bait. Grayson balked. Gut twisting. This isn't spectacle. It's sacred. Alex wavered. Temptation's pull evident in late-night scrolls of concept reels. What if it's our chance to set the narrative? He argued over wine. Glasses clinking doubt. Grayson set his down. Measured. Or what if it traps us back in the frame? Debate stretched. Therapy triangulated with Dr. Lena. Power seductive. She noted. Glasses perched. But whose power? They declined, opting for a self-produced short Grayson directing. Alex narrating screened at queer film fests. The premiere in Tribeca buzzed intimate. Riley's artwork as backdrop. Jamal emceeing with flair. Applause thundered. But post-screening Q&A pierced. A journalist probed. Was revenge worth the wreckage? Grayson paused. Mike warm palm. It wasn't revenge. It was reckoning for me. First. Winter's grip tested resilience. A blizzard blanketed the city. Flights grounded. Stranding Alex's mom for an impromptu week. Awkward thawed to warmth. Baking disasters in Grayson's kitchen. Stories swapped over Cocoer, Ohio youth. His village nights. You make him shine. She confided one eve. Snowflakes dancing window pane. Grayson blushed. Rare. He does the same for me. Spring heralded renewal. But grief ambushed. Dad's remission faltered, lungs weakening. Doctor's grave. Alex flew Midwest. Grayson trailing support. Hospital vigils blurred. Beeps sinking heartbeats. Mom's hand in his. Silent alliance. Dad rallied brief. Lucidity gifting wisdom. I was blind. Son. See clear for both of us. Alex nodded. Tears silent. Grayson slipped out for air. Corridor echoing his sob-sloss's universality. Bridging divides. Funeral came soft. May rains pattering graveside. Eulogy fell to Alex. Words woven from forgiveness. You taught me strength. Even in silence. Back in New York. Mourning morphed Mission Rainbow Bridges launching a Buy Health initiative. Honoring Dad's fight. Donors stepped up. Lives touched. A father's legacy. Redeemed through sons. Summer solstice circled. Anniversary shadowed by absence, but lit by presence. They scattered ashes in the Hudson at dawn. Boat rocking gentle. Words whispered to wind. To bridges. Grayson toasted. Flask passed. Alex clinked. Eyes clear. Built and burned. But never broken. Road trip redux. Pacific Northwest this time. Seattle's embrace via Mia's couch. Jamal crashed. Now cast in an off-Broadway queer musical echoes uncloseted. Rehearsals electric. Grayson storyboarding posters pro bono. Evenings campfire deep, dreams dissected. Futures sketched. Where next? Alex asked. Stars canopy. Grayson grinned. Anywhere. As long as it's us. Fall's palette painted progress. Grayson's novel shortlisted for Lambda Literary. Readings packing houses. Alex guested on national radio. Voice steady amplifying margins. Joint therapy evolved, not wounds. But wonders envisioning adoption. Perhaps. Or a cabin retreat annual. Holiday lights twinkled promise. Christmas Eve. Fire escape perch. City carols below. Alex knelt sudden. Ring glinting same band. Now vowed. Marry me. Not for show for us. Grayson's yes shattered joyful. Embrace fierce. New Year dawned collaborative, podcast novel crossover event. Unmasked lives. Crowds swelled diver straits seeking solidarity. Queers claiming space. Riley unveiled mural, intertwined paths. Mask shed. Jamal performed excerpt. Voice soaring. In Mosaic's heart. Grayson traced Alex's palm. Lines mapping journeys synced. From hooks hurled to horizons hold. They'd forged not just survival, but symphony humanity's hymn to love unbound. As the ink dried on their engagement announcement, a simple Instagram post. Hands interlaced under Brooklyn's autumn blaze. Grayson's world tilted toward the monumental. Planning a wedding felt like scripting the sequel to their unscripted saga, intimate. Intentional. infused with the scars that made them stronger. No grand venues or white veils. They dreamed a rooftop affair in the village. Fairy lights strung like constellations. Queer choirs serenading vows. Mia flew in for brainstorming. Spreadsheets her love language. Guest list at 50. Tops. And Jamal's your ring bearer deal. Alex laughed, sketching cake tiers with by pride layers. Only if Riley caters the R-tatable portraits of us. Pre- and post-mic drop. Banter flowed easy, but undercurrents stirred. Family invites loomed. Mom's tentative yes a win, but Dad's absence an echo. Grayson mediated doubts. Dr. Lena's counsel compass. Weddings bind futures. Honor pasts without chains. Rainbow bridges thrived parallel. Grayson expanding to virtual sessions reaching rural queers via Zoom. Accents twanging testimonies. One call. A farmer's son from Iowa. Watched your speech at midnight. First time I breathed easy. Impact tallied not in metrics, but moments lives lit. Like lanterns in fog. Alex's podcast hit stride. Season 3 themed Redefining Kin episodes unpacking chosen families. Biological bridges. Guesting Grayson sparked magic. Raw recount of Ohio funeral. Laughter lacing loss. Download spiked. Sponsors queer aligned. Backlash dwindled to whispers. Yet pressure mounted book tour invites. TEDx nods. We're a team. Grayson reminded over late dinners. Takeout cartons fortresses. Alex nodded, but eyes betrayed fatigue's creep. Winter wedding prep snowballed whimsy. Suit fittings where Alex quipped. Tucks or tails like our duality. Invites hand-stamped rainbows. RSVPs trickling joy. Mia's toast draft teared them to Grayson, who turned heartbreak to hearth. But a snag-snared former Heartstrings producer emailing reconciliation pitch, joint appearance. Heal the narrative. Alex deleted. But seed sown doubt. Grayson confronted gentle. We're authors now. Not actors. Resolution, a co-written op-ed. From stage to page, why we opt out. Published in the Advocate Click's Cascading Conversation. Spring bloomed buoyant. Cherry blossoms confetti for cake tastings. Jamal's musical opened rousing echoes earning raves. His understudy role spotlight steel. After-party hugs, you too. Inspiration incarnate. Riley's mural toured galleries. Proceeds to the center art as activism. Cycle spinning. Rehearsal dinner intimate. Rooftop under stars. Mom toasting tearful. Alex, you found your light. Grayson, thank you for sharing it. Vows practiced private. Words whispered balcony. In masks and truths. I choose you. Alex's ring finger bore faint 10 line from Old Solitude. Grayson's. Sketch callous promise. Wedding day dawned golden. June's sun gilding spires. Grayson paced apartment. Bowtie ask you. Alex calming with coffee kiss. Ceremony pulsed heartbeat. Choir's hallelujah queer-coded. Guest spectrum teens from workshops. Podcast fans. Mia beaming matron. I'll walk solo. Each step shedding yesteryears. Vows voiced fierce. Grayson. You saw my storm and stayed. I'll weather yours eternal. Alex. From hidden to held. You're my horizon. Rings exchanged. Cheers erupted confetti queer-colored. Kisses ceiling. Reception danced dawn. Jamal's playlist eclectic. Lila from the show twirling surprise. Toasts layered love. Riley's poem. Bridges bend. Never break. Cake cut laughter. Bilayers symbol sweet. Honeymoon hushed. Catskills cabin. Echo of beginnings. Trails hiked handhold. Lakeside loons calling. Nights firelit. Story spun future kids via surrogacy. Perhaps. Names brainstorm starside. Legacy. Alex murmured. Head on chest. Not blood. But bond. Return refocused resolve. Grayson's novel One Lambda. Tour cities pulsing pride. Alex co-hosted events. Synergy seamless. Rainbow Bridges broke ground on satellite Center Ohio nod. Bridging roots. Fall's harvest yielded harvest. First anniversary eve. Adoption seminar attended tentative. Papers pondered. Dreams documented. Mom visited. Baking apple pie recipe reclaimed. Family's what we feed. She smiled. Winter wrapped wonder. Podcast holiday special. Carol's queer. Grayson sketched family portrait hypothetical. Hopeful them. Child imagined. Jamal uncle. Riley aunt. Alex framed it mantle. Our blueprint. New year vowed velocity. Resolutions relational weekly dates. Monthly retreats. Life's loom wove richer betrayals thread gold now. Gilding tapestry. In city's ceaseless hum. Grayson traced Alex's sleep-soft face. Gratitude's glow. From exposure's blaze to embrace's balm. They'd authored epic, Love's Labor. Luminous. The first hints of their expanded family stirred not in storks or sonograms, but in the quiet click of a mouse adoption profile scrolling late one Brooklyn night. Screens glowing like distant hopes. Grayson and Alex had tabled talks post-honeymoon, letting the idea simmer. But summer's in brought Catalyst, a Rainbow Bridges workshop where a single dad shared his journey. Voice cracking on the day he called me dad. The story lodged. A seed in fertile soil. What if? Alex whispered homeward, hands squeezing over gear shift. Grayson nodded, pulse quickening. Let's find out. Paperwork avalanche followed. Home studies. Interviews. Endless forms interrogating souls. Social worker Eleanor Mide Latina with stories of her own queer kin probe gentle. What makes you ready? Alex leaned forward. Earnest. We've rebuilt from ruins. It's building anew. Grayson added. Sketches spontaneous, a family tree branching infinite. Approval came swift. Profiles matched tentativia toddler boy. Biracial. Foster shuffled. Eyes wide in photo. Meetings unfolded cautious, agency playroom. Toys scattered like minefield. Little Theo too. Curls wild. Grin gap-toothed toddled over. Truck, thrust, V-room. Alex knelt. Engine sounds echoing laughter. Grayson watched. Heart swell Theo's tiny hand in his. Trust tentative. Visits multiplied. Park picnics. Bedtime stories read halting. You're good at this. Mia observed via video. Her Seattle nursery, envy evident. Uncle Judy's incoming. But bureaucracy bit, delays dragged. Court dates danced. Doubts surfaced Alex's midnight fret. What if I'm the mask again? Failing him like I hid. Grayson held mirror. You're showing up. That's fatherhood's first lesson. Therapy tandem. DR. Lena mediated. Parenting's not perfection. It's presence. Fall's foliage framed first holiday as 3 tentative Thanksgiving. Theo on booster. Turkey carved clumsy. Mom joined. Apron clad. Theo's gamma. Melting ice. Jamal crashed. Puppet show delighting dimples. Grayson journaled post-feast. Not seamless. But sacred our patchwork kin. Winter waited wrought. Finalization hearing crisp December. Courtroom solemn. Judge's gavel fell benediction. Parents. Officially. Tears tracked. Hugs hospital tight. Homecoming blurred joy. Nursery painted sky blue. Mobile stars spinning. Sleepless nights sync Theo's cries. Colics chorus but dawn cuddles compensated. Tiny form nestled. Spring sprouted synergy. Theo's first steps wobbly toward dada. Dual. Rainbow Bridges wove him in playgroups peer parented. Grayson facilitating. Alex's podcast pivoted. Queer dads unscripted. Episodes earnest sleep deprivation soliloquies. Love's logistics. Listeners leaned in. Stories shared. Your normalcy. Revolutionary. Summer solstice celebrated steps, park parade. Theo's wagon pulled tandem. Riley sketched portrait trio tangled. Love's lines loose. Lila visited. Her own journey echoed. Adoption's gamble won big. Growth's gifts glittered. But grit ground. Theo's tantrums testing tempers. Work-life wobbles. One eve. Meltdown merged. Theo flung blocks. Alex snapped. Grayson stormed. Silence stewed. Then sorry soft. Couch huddle. Theo between. Breaths balancing. Team. Alex affirmed. Kiss foreheads. Fall fostered fortitude. Theo's preschool plunge. Backpack bear hugged. Drop-offs teared. Pickups triumphed. Finger paints smeared stories. Grayson's novel sequel sketched. Bridges built. Theo muse. Alex guested schools. Bydad beacon. Winter wrapped wonder anew. First snow. Theo's squeals sledding Central Park. Holiday haze harmonious mom's cookies. Mia's flight. Jamal's jingles. New Year's toast trio. To roots deepening. Anniversaries accrued. Theo's third. Cake chaos. Their second parental. Quiet cabin escape. Mia babysitting. Life's ledger balanced. Pains past. Presents profound. In mosaics ever shift. Grayson watched Theo chase bubbles. Alex's laugh lifting. From duo's duel to trio's triumph. Love's ledger infinite legacy lived. Luminous. Theo's laughter echoed through the brownstone like a melody Grayson never tired of. A soundtrack to mornings where sippy cups clinked and tiny sneakers pattered across kitchen tiles. 3 years into fatherhood. The chaos had evolved from overwhelming to orchestral diaper dashes giving way to dinosaur roars. Bedtime battles to whispered wonders about stars. Grayson often paused mid-sketch. Pencil hovering. To absorb it, this boy, with Alex's curls and his own hazel mischief, was their miracle. Stitched from intention and ink. Rainbow bridges mirrored the growth. Branches extending to family-focused forums workshops for queer parents navigating schools. Holidays. The subtle biases that stung like paper cuts. Grayson keynote to conference in San Francisco. Theo in tow via Mia's lap. His presence prop. This work. It's for him for tomorrow's tolerant. Attendees nodded. Stories swelling post-panel, adoptive arcs. Bio blends. All hues of heart. Alex's platform propelled parallel. Queer Dads episodes, evergreen live tours packing venues. Theo's cameos crowd charmer. One Chicago stop. Post-show mingle, a dad approached. Voice thick. Your story got me coming out at 45. With twins. Alex hugged fierce. Grayson beaming backdrop. Backstage. Theo tugged, daddy famous. Alex knelt, we all are. Boudin our loves. But expansion bred edges. Grayson's novel tour clashed. Theo's teething. Absences aching. Calls home crackled comfort. Alex's updates. Theo's garble but guilt gnawed. Return reconciliation, airport sprint. Arms open. Forgiveness and freckles. Missed my anchors. Grayson confessed. Suitcase thumping stare. Mom's visits vitalized. Ohio winters swapped for Brooklyn springs. Her hands Theo's tutors in pie crusts. Garden plots. Your naturals. She affirmed. Watching Alex chase fireflies. Letters from extended kin trickled. Cousins curious. Aunts affirming families fabric fraying, then refashioning. Summer's sojourn south, Ohio homestead. Theo's first farm frolic. Chicks cheeped. Cornstalks towered. Grandpa's garden, mom's now, yielded lessons, plant deep. Son. She echoed dad's ghost. Evening's porch swayed. Stories spun. Alex's boyhood hidings. Grayson's city dreams. Theo's wide-eyed more. Fall's fervor focused. Theo's preschool play. Grayson Alex front row parents. Pride parental. Jamal directed now. Off-Broadway biopic dual lights. Alex consultant. Grayson sets. Premiere pulsed. Theo in tuxedo tiny. Curtain call chaos. Winter's weave warmed. Holidays hybrid Brooklyn tree. Ohio sleigh. Theo's questions quickened. Why two daddies? Alex fielded fluid. Loves like puzzles pieces fit unique. Books bolstered. Two mommies stacks. Discussions dawnlit. Spring spark. Theo's sibling spark talks tentative. Agency revisited. Profiles pondered. Hearts hopeful. Meanwhile, rainbow bridges ribbon cut, satelliteral reach. Theo cornerstone laying. Hammer hefted heroic. Challenges chiseled. Theo's ear infection, eve of Alex's keynote. Fevered fret. Grayson's solo shifted. Grace underglow. Recovery rallied resolve. Park promise. We're unbreakable. Anniversaries accrued. Theo's fourth. Zoo zoom. Parental third. Vineyard vow renew. Life's lattice laced laughter. Labors. Love's layered. One eve. Theo asleep story sated. Grayson and Alex balcony breathed. City hush. From finale fire to family forge. Alex mused. Wine swirled. Grayson clinked, and the best pages unwritten. An ever-unfolding epic. Their chapter charmed chaos cherished. Kin's kingdom kindled. By Theo's 5th birthday. The brownstone brimmed with balloons and the scent of chocolate-frosted chaos. A far cry from the sterile silence Grayson once knew in the wake of betrayal. The party pulsed with pint-sized energy. Jamal as Dino Wrangler. Riley's piñata painted pride. Mia video calling from Seattle with cake-in-mouth cheers. Theo. Crown T-Rex. Tour rapping wild. His thank you. Daddies. A bomb brighter than any spotlight. Grayson caught Alex's eye across the fray. A shared glance saying this is usmacy. Mighty. Rainbow bridges had ballooned into a beacon. Grayson steering ship toward national scope partnerships with schools. Curricula queer inclusive. Theo's daycare first pilot. One assembly. He spoke to kindergartners. Families come colorful like crayons. All needed. Tiny hands raised. My auntie's a boy. Laughter liberated. Lessons lingering. Alex's media mantle broadened. Queer dads, Emmy nodded. Spin-off series greenlit docudrama on blended bonds. Auditions abounded. Theo cameo candidate. But boundaries held. No exploiting our boy. Instead, family vlogs, voluntary authentic snippets, park puddle jumps. Bedtime blues. Mom's migration mended, semi-retired. She relocated nearer Jersey condo. Weekends commandeered for Theo's Gamma camps. Baking brigade building bonds. Your father's smiling somewhere. She confided garden gloved. Weeds pulled partnership. Summer's saga scripted adventure, cross-country camper. Theo's Road King throne. Stops storied Yosemite yawns. Grand Canyon gasps. Nashville notes with Jamal's kin. Evenings ember lit. Telescopes tracing constellations. Tales of your heartstrings, haze now history humorous. Fall's focus fine-tuned. Theo's school start. Backpack battles won. Grayson volunteered art class. Sketches sparking shies. Alex podcast parent panels. Theo's quips quotable. Daddies fight fair like superheroes. Winter's whimsy world. Holidays hop Brooklyn lights. Ohio hearth. Theo's letter to Santa. More books. Less snowballs. New Year's nebula. Resolutions rooted family fitness. Foster mentorship. Spring's surprise sprouted. Sibling seeds sown approval anew. Match miraculous. Baby girl. Foster fresh. Eyes echoing Theo's wonder. Visits veiled vulnerability, swaddled soft. Fingers grasping. Naming nights, Luna. Moon to Theo's sun. Challenges crested, Luna's colic crescendo. Sleep scant. Theo's jealousy jabs, my daddies. Navigated nurture, sibling stories. Cuddle quotas. Therapy threaded, DR. Lena's lapsus. Your modeling mending. Luna's legalization, luminous court coup. Gavel grace. Homecoming harmony, Nursery Neighbor. Theo's Big Bro badge beamed. Summer Sequel, Beach Baptism. Luna's Toes Tide Tickled. Rainbow Bridges Retreat Family Focused. Grayson's Guiding Games. Fall Fostered Flourish. Theo's Tales Tutor Luna. Lullabies Learned. Alex's Series Streamed Success. Grayson Graphic Ghost. Anniversaries Amplified Theo's Sixth Safari. Parental Fifth. Paris Promise, Babysitter's Brigade. Life's Ledger Lush, Legacies Layered. Love's Limitless. Balcony Breath. Babes Bedded. Grayson Quipped, From Two to Tribe. Alex Grinned, Best Plot Twist. Epic Endures Embrace Eternal. Echoes Empowering. A decade danced by in a whirlwind of scraped knees and school plays. Theo's lanky frame now topping Grayson's shoulder. Luna's braids bouncing as she bossed board games with bossy charm. The Brownstone. Once echoing Two Souls Solitude. Thrummed with 10-year tandem, homework huddles at the island. Alex quizzing history while Grayson plated pasta. Birthdays blurred benchmarks Theo's teen tilt toward guitars. Luna's leap into Dance Siege Candle a chronicle of constancy. Rainbow Bridges had rooted national. Grayson's CEO capstone, centers coast to coast. Scholarships seeded dreams. Keynote circuits carried creed, from one mic drop to millions mended. Retirees reminisced his speech viral. Now syllabus staple Grayson's Grace. Curricula calling. Alex's Empire Empathic, Queer Dad's franchise books. Tours. Theo guest guitarist at 15. Luna scripted shorts. Siblings synergy shining. Media matured, advisor roles. Avoiding actor traps. Mom's matriarch mantle, Jersey grandma. Holidays her haven Thanksgivings teeming. Ohio echoes and empanadas. Mia's moves mirrored Seattle satellite family. Visits volleyed. Summer's storied. Europe escapes Rome ruins. Paris patisseries. Theo's sketches. Luna's journals. Fall's fervor. Theo's high school haze. Crushes confessed coded, like you and Dad. Grayson grinned, exactly on it open. Winter's weave. Holidays hybrid. New Year's nebula resolutions refined. Travel tropes. Therapy trysts. Spring spark. Theo's coming out coffee. Casual bye. Like Dad. Hugs heaped. Pride parade planned. Luna's ally anthem. I'll fight for you. Bro. Challenges chiseled character. Theo's breakup blues. Luna's bully brush nights navigated narratives. Pain passes. Authenticity abides. Anniversaries accrued Theo's 18th abroad. Parental 15th. Vow Voyage Venice. Legacy loomed luminous. Rainbow Bridges Foundation Fund. Alex's Archive. Kids College's Course Theo Arts. Luna Advocacy. One Eve. Empire Empty Kids crashed post-party Grayson and Alex Rooftop reflected. City Symphony Soft. From Hook's Hurl to Home's Heart. Alex mused. Gray threading gold. Grayson laced fingers. Sequel sweeter. In Time's tapestry. Threads triumph love's loom. Lasting light.